learn, but being foreigner, Prabhuji is having such a fluent Sanskrit. It doesn't appear कि Prabhuji कहीं बाहर से हैं. So he is very learned. And Prabhuji has served as temple president of ISKCON Vadodara. Sufficient time Prabhuji ने गुजरात में बिताया है. I was searching for Prabhuji introduction, I didn't find much. तो लगभग 38 years प्रभुजी गुजरात में रहे हैं और प्रभुपाद जी के मिशन के लिए प्रभुजी ट्रैवल करते हैं. प्रभुजी के लेक्चर्स बहुत ही इंथुसियास्टिक होते हैं. मैं भी स्टाफ कैलाश में था तो प्रभुजी टू द पॉइंट और जो भी डाइवर्जेंस हैं, डिस्ट्रैक्शंस हैं, मूवमेंट में जो भी लेफ्ट राइट होता है प्रभु जी सबको सीधा करते हैं. तो प्रभु जी हैज़ दिस थैंकलेस टास्क टू स्पीक क्लियर कट अबाउट श्रील प्रभुपाद सिद्धांत. So we are really blessed to have among us His Grace Basu Prabhu ji. So let's welcome Prabhu ji in ISKCON Dwarka by loudly chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Basu Prabhu ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
प्रभु मैं हिंदी में बोलना है. भारत आया 1974 फरवरी. कितना साल है पहले? 52. और 5 साल हैदराबाद में रहा और उसके पश्चात गुजरात आया. तो कितना साल हो गया? तो 38 कहाँ है? 47 साल से गुजरात में.
47 years. हरि बोल.
42 साल बड़ौदा में.
हरि बोल.
और इस समय ब्यूरो के महासचिव सेवा है. हम लोग राजा नहीं है, सेवा कर रहे हैं. गुजरात और मध्य प्रदेश का देखभाल. हरे कृष्ण. राधा माधव कीर्तन की क्या मृदंग दीजिए. धन्यवाद. नया है. मैंने एक चीज देखा यहाँ भी और सभी मंदिरों में चटाई का अभाव. चटाई क्यों नहीं रखते हैं बैठने के लिए? इस ठंडी में ठंडा हो गया. हाँ? नहीं रखते हैं. हाँ? ओ ठंडी के अच्छा, बट आसान में बैठना चाहिए ना प्रवचन के काल में. आप लोगों के जैसे ही सभी मंदिरों का यही हो गया. इसलिए कहीं भी नहीं देखा, सब लोग नीचे बैठ रहे हैं. हड़ताल है. अच्छा, एक ही हड़ताल? 2, 3, 4 हड़ताल नहीं है. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय. गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी. गोपी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी. गोपी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यमुना तीर वनचारी. यमुना Yamunacharya Yamuna Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunacharya Vanachari Yamunacharya Vanachari Yamuna Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayum Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajacharya Ashto Terishata Shri Srimad Bhai Charanardavinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Sanstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Nitya Leela Pravishta Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Sachit Ananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu Ki Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Shri Narottam Das Thakur Ki Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Koho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrinda Devi Ganga Devi Yamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Mathura Dham Ki Maya Purna Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Shri Dwarka Puri Dham Ki Shri Ayodhya Puri Dham Ki Shri Hastinapur Dham Ki Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish Mandir Ki Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish Ki Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Sudarshan Chakra Ki Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Ramanujacharya Ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Hare Krishna. रामानुजाचार्य के कुछ स्तुति स्तोत्र है लेकिन कंठस्थ नहीं है इसलिए अच्छा ये लैपटॉप है यहाँ वो रामानुज संप्रदाय का रामानुजाचार्य को कुछ निकाल सकते किसके हाथ में टेलीफोन से अच्छा श्रीपाद रामानुजाचार्य ये तो है लेकिन जो उनके प्रशंसा का स्तोत्र अच्छा एक और माला मेरा मैं भी ढूंढ सकता हूँ, सोचा नहीं, ये मेरा गलती है। वाह, काफ़ी अलग अलग स्तुति स्तोत्र आया, लेकिन जो मेरे याद है वो नहीं आया। यो नित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुज युग्म रुक्म व्यामोहतस तस्तदितराणि त्रिनाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोस्य दयैक सिन्धोस् रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। अच्छा, प्राप्त किया। हिंदी अनुवाद नहीं है, अंग्रेजी अनुवाद है, प्रयत्न करूँगा हिंदी अनुवाद का। तो हमारे गुरु रामानुजाचार्य का चरण कमलों में शरण ग्रहण करता हूँ, जो दया सिंधु है, जो भगवान विष्णु के चरण कमलों का तीव्र प्रेम के लिए दूसरे वस्तु उन्होंने तुच्छ समझा। भागवत प्रेम मुख्य था। फिर एक और स्तोत्र है लक्ष्मीनाथ, वो मिला? लक्ष्मीनाथ समारंभाम नाथ यामुन मध्यमाम अस्मादाचार्य पर्यंताम वंदे गुरु परंपराम। तो मैं हमारे गुरु परंपरा को प्रणाम करता हूँ, जिनके मूल है लक्ष्मी देवी का नाथ नारायण, और नाथ मुनि और यमुनाचार्य मध्य में, और फिर रामानुजाचार्य तक। तो रामानुजाचार्य के परम गुरु यमुनाचार्य था, और उनके दीक्षा गुरु महापूर्ण एक दक्षिण का कथा में। फिर यतिराज सप्तति, जो वेदांत देशिका ने 70 श्लोक में रामानुजाचार्य का प्रशंसा किया, उसमें एक है यहाँ उपवीति नमूड वपुनरंथम त्रिजगत पुण्यफलम त्रिदंडहस्तम शरणागत सार्थमा आहमीरे शिखया शिखरिणम पथिम यतीनाम। तो रामानुजाचार्य यतिराज कहते थे। यति शब्द का अर्थ है सन्यासी, त्यागी। तो उस यतिराज को मैं प्रशंसा करना चाहता हूँ, जो यज्ञोपवीत संस्कार, यज्ञोपवीत धारण करते हैं। अच्छा, रामानुजाचार्य के संप्रदाय में संन्यास आश्रम ग्रहण करने के काल में यज्ञोपवीत का त्याग नहीं होते हैं। आदि शंकराचार्य के परंपरा में जब संन्यास और शिखा भी रखते हैं, लेकिन आदि शंकराचार्य के संप्रदाय में और मध्व संप्रदाय में भी संन्यास ग्रहण करने के काल में ही यज्ञोपवीत का त्याग होते हैं और शिखा का त्याग होते हैं, और एक दंड संन्यास और त्रिदंडी संन्यास रामानुज संप्रदाय में भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर ने जब संन्यास आश्रम का प्रवेश नहीं क्या प्रस्तुति इंट्रोडक्शन प्रस्तावना किया, तो शिखा और यज्ञोपवीत और का रक्षण किया। तो रामानुज संप्रदाय से उन्होंने ये स्वीकार किया। तो ऊर्ध्वपुंड्र जो त्रिदंडी रखते हैं और जो भगवान के शरणागत के प्रवर है रामानुजाचार्य। तो रामानुजाचार्य यति राजा वैभवम 114 श्लोक में संक्षिप्त रूप में रामानुजाचार्य का जीवन कथा यति राजा वैभवम अंग्रेजी अनुवाद आपको यति राजा वैभवम दिखला सकते यहाँ। ओ इंटरनेट आर्काइव में नहीं है, archive.org कहाँ है? अच्छा ओके मिला, वाह क्या बात है। उसका हिंदी अनुवाद नहीं है? नो, ये अंग्रेजी अनुवाद है। मूल देवनागरी संस्कृत में लिखा है। Everyone knows English? हाँ, कोई है जो अंग्रेजी नहीं समझते हैं, दिखाइए हाथ। 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 उनके लिए कुछ विशेष अनुवाद का व्यवस्था होगा। Okay, so I read this Yati Raja Vaibhavam, Yati Raja Vaibhav, long time ago. I had few copies. Actually, this was printed long time ago. Those days the books were so cheap, 1 rupee or whatever, And it was a small book. So, this is what's number 1? Go up to number 1. Srimad Ramanuja Deshikada. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, let's go to the translation. The respectable Sri Saila Purna, who acquired from Yamunacharya the purport of the 2 Vedantas, who was of a steady mind in carrying out Yamunacharya's command, and who is in search of suitable grooms for his younger sisters, was living in Tirumala, Venkat. Excuse me. So he was living in Venkatadri Hills, Tirumala, for the progress of the good bringing water, flowers and other offerings to Balaji. So I think this, go back again, Sri Saila Purna had two sisters, and one of those sisters was the mother of Ramanujacharya. I think that's what, next. In the meanwhile, two young men, Kamalanayan and Keshava Somayajin, who were permanently settled in Mathura Mangala and Bhuttapuri, were of noble descent and learned in Vedas, and their auxiliaries came to him with a view to marry his sisters. Sri Sailapurna beheld them and felt happy to decide they were eligible grooms for his sisters, and at their request, he gave them who bowed to him the mantra, marking them with the conch and discus. Keshava Somayajin received with a delighted mind Bhuma Devi, the elder of the sisters, and Kamalanayan, the younger Sri Devi. Sri Shailapurna became delighted with them. Then the two grooms went with his permission to their place with their wives, worshipped the consort, happy. Okay, go to the next one. So this is the birth of Ramanujacharya, right? No, still didn't come. Keep going. Keep going. I wanted to get to the Upanayana. So, Upanayanam has come. But which is the son? Ramanuja is the son of which one? Which of the sisters? That was the question. Go back. Why? How did we miss that? 6 and 7? Wife of Keshava Somayajin. Having the Simha Lagna there appeared, was born in the wife of Keshava Somayajin. So Keshava Somayajin, who did he marry? Which one? Which one of the sisters? The younger or the elder? Sri Devi, the elder. Younger sister. Oh, okay. Kamala Nayan was the younger. Keshava Somayajin was the elder. Bhuma Devi. Kamala Nayan married Sri Devi. So the son of Keshava Somayajin is Ramanuja. Somayajin, you understand what that means? Anybody can explain? Yeah, and Yajin? There's a verse in Gita, one of my favorite verses. Trai vidya mam somapaf puta papa yajñayar ishtva swargatim somapaf puta papa somapaha, one who drinks the somaras. Yajñayar ishtva, having offered oblations in the fire. So a Somayajin is somebody who performed a Somayagna and drank the Somaras. There are still Brahmins in mostly you would see this only in Andhra Pradesh, who write Somayajin. Even though these Brahmins were Tamil Brahmins, they were not Andhra. Of course, there's not a lot of difference between Tamil and Telugu, and 25% of Tamil Nadu are Telugu speakers. Did you know that? No, right? Nobody knows that here, because this is the north and that's the south. There are many, many Telugu speaking people. You heard of Tyagaraja? Tyagaraja, this Carnatic Sangeet. So he is from Tiruvayaru, I think. Tiruvayaru. It's in Tamil Nadu, but all of his songs, except for one, are in Telugu, even though he's from Tamil Nadu. But that Telugu of Tamil Nadu is not the pure Telugu. That's also, Telugu also has many, just like, in North India you have many dialects. Hindi is a link language, right? But Grama Bhasha is different. Here in Uttar Pradesh, there are how many different Grama Bhashas? So many. Avadi, Bhojpuri, Bundelkhandi, Garhwal, well that's Uttarakhand now, right? How many other here? There's Brij Bhasha. Just like that, in South there are many different dialects and accents and all that. So anyway, Ramanujacharya was born in Sri Perumbudur. So that is near to Chennai. I think it's about an hour. Now it might be even, the city might even be touching Sri Perumbudur. These cities are getting so big. So there's a big temple there, and there's a mutt. Ramanujacharya studied, see, this is another thing, that there is a Vedic educational syllabus, and Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they were supposed to get education in the Vedic educational syllabus. And the rest of the people, they didn't read and write. They didn't learn reading and writing. Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Sudarshan Chakra ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki. So, Gurugram is right nearby. So where Pandavas and Kauravas studied with Dronacharya, and Krishna, Balaram and Sudama, they studied with Sandipani in Avanti. What is Avanti today? Ujjain, you all know. What did they study? Anybody knows? What did they study? 64 arts. That's all? There's 2 shlokas in the Bhagavatam that describe what Krishna and Balaram and Sudama and all whoever else was there, Sahapatis, what they studied. You know where that is? Anyone knows? Oh, pardon me, I didn't turn off the ringer. My fault. No, nobody can say. I give you a hint. It's in the 10th canto. That's the biggest part of the Bhagavatam. Give you another hint. It's in the 45th chapter. Still don't know. Shlokas 30, you can put on the board, right? But we'll come back to Ramanuja. 33 and 34. 10, 45, 33 and 34. Just now coming. Just now coming. There they are. Tayor dvija varas tushtas shuddha bhavanuvritti bihi provacha vedan akilan sangopanga shado guruhu. Is that it? Sangopana upanishado. Sangopanishado guruhu. So should be warm. Guna pani milega. Seeing that best of the Brahmins, the spiritual master Sandipani, was satisfied with their submissive behavior, and thus he taught them the entire Vedas along with their corollaries. The corollaries are called Vedangas, right? Next verse, and the Upanishads. Sarahasyam dhanurvedam dharma nyaya patangs tatha. It's that there's a reflection, so I can't see it properly. Up, little up. Tatha chanvikshikim vidyam rajanitim chasadvidham. Go to the translation there. He taught them the Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda is Yudh Kala, military science, with its most confidential secrets, the standard books of law. So law is Dharma Shastras. The methods of logical reasoning, anvikshikim, and philosophical debate, and the sixfold science of politics, rajnitim. I think in the next verse it mentions the 64 arts. But that's 37. 33, 30, 35. Go to, we read 35? Oh, 34. Where's 35? Anyway, the point is this, and it's a very, very important point, because as an institution we are neglecting this. I'm sorry to say. I apologize. Because this is 35. O King, these best of persons, Krishna and Balaram, being themselves the original promulgators of all varieties of knowledge, could immediately assimilate each and every subject after hearing it explained just once. Thus, with fixed concentration, they learned the 64 arts and skills in as many days and nights. Thereafter, O King, they satisfied their spiritual master by offering him Guru Dakshina. There's a nice diorama exhibition in Ujjain of all the 64 arts. Why are we not studying this? Anybody want to tell me? Why are we not studying Vedas, Vedangas, Anvikshikim, Dhanurveda? Of course, we're not Kshatriyas, or somebody should be a Kshatriya. Why are we not studying this? Anyone want to say? Nobody. You're all intelligent. Looks like intelligent people. Not that I'm so intelligent, but this is I think, this is a fair question. Why we are not studying this? Nobody can say anything. We are studying what? MA, BA, PhD. Yeah. Isn't it? Am I? What did you say? They're not giving artha and kama. Your answer is right, but that's not what I'm looking for. Why is it that ISKCON, which is supposed to revive Vedic culture, we don't have this educational syllabus? Actually, we have it in a couple places. This is a better explanation. Well, let's think about this. It's a fact that Vaishnavism, which actually started with Ramanujacharya, because before Ramanujacharya there were no Vaishnava Sampradayas, right? There were no Vaishnava Sampradayas. People were Vaishnavas. Bali, Raja, Prahlad, Dhruva, in the Bhagavatam it's mentioned. Vaishnava means a devotee of Vishnu. The whole story of Prahlad, he was a devotee, but these Vaishnava Sampradayas are for Kali Yuga. They're for Kali Yuga. And the stress is on bhakti. But Prabhupada and his guru, they wanted to revive Vedic culture. And Prabhupada many times said there has to be a Gurukul. Now, if we go the story of Ramanujacharya, if we go back, so as a Brahmin, he followed this Vedic educational syllabus. It was written there, right? In the first few verses, those two brothers who married, his father and his uncle, they were students of Vedas. So then the question in my mind is, why aren't we students of Vedas? And Prabhuji said, because there's no artha, and actually there is artha and kama. Krishna says to Arjuna in the Gita, Trigunya Vishaya Veda, Nishtrigunya Bhavarjuna. The Vedas are about, Rajasic, Tamasic and Sattvic. They deal with the material world. They don't deal with the spiritual world. And so Nishtraigunyo, rise above the gunas, doesn't mean you give up the Vedas. We never give up the Vedas. Should I say the answer? The answer is laziness. Yeah, that's it. We're lazy. We don't want to study Vedas. Now, one thing is, in order to study Vedas, the Veda guru has to be there to teach the Vedas. And our gurus stressed bhakti, that's a fact. But there's a lot of quotations from Prabhupada. Because right now, there's a dichotomy. This word is not commonly used. That means there are two separate opinions in our movement. And the issue on which we are now divided is, should ladies be Diksha gurus? Sorry, I'm raising this issue here. Sorry, because it's, what do you call it? Controversial. Well, ISKCON India is opposed, not me. Whole leadership of ISKCON India is against it. Excuse me. And there are many, many quotations from Prabhupada. We just had here, Ramanujacharya kept the Yagnopavit in Sannyas Ashram. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he introduced sannyas, in Gaudiya Sampradaya there was no sannyas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Shankara Sampradaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Advaita Sampradaya. And actually never took the sannyas name. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is a brahmachari, like we have the yellow brahmacharis here. The brahmachari was not a sannyasi. He was the assistant of a sannyasi. And so they had the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya. The sannyasis, I don't remember all of the... There's Saraswati Bharati, Keshava Bharati. Puri, Brahmananda Puri, Paramananda Puri in Chaitanya Leela, Brahmananda Bharati, Paramananda Puri. Van was another. There are 11 names. Maybe you can get that. Giri, right. I don't remember all the 11. That's why you could say, that you do an AI, you can do the AI Google. What are the 11 sannyas titles in Shankara Sampradaya? Tirth. And in Udupi, they all use Tirth, right? Jaya Tirth, Akshobhya Tirth, Vishwesha Tirth was Pejawar Swami, but he passed away. Ananda Tirtha was Madhvacharya. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not take Vaishnav sannyas, Tridandi, but Ramanujacharya and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati had so Yagnopavit Sanskar is not given to the ladies. And Prabhupada has in different places, he didn't write a book about initiation, he didn't write a book about how the Gurukul, he made a hybrid Gurukul. Some Vedic, some Paschatya. This is called Deshkal Patra, time and circumstance. But ideally, it's still going on. It's not like there's no Vedic education. The Vedic education exists. We're not doing it. So that is a lacuna. You know this word, lacuna? Flaw. It's a flaw. We want to create brahmanas, shaving the head and face together, actually, not half shaving, but we do the half shaving. It was to impress people in the West, to shave your face every day. But Vedic system was head and face together. Shika Dharanam and Dhotya Vastram. Actually, this kurta was not there. What is it? Chadar, Angavastram in south. Or what? Uttariya. So Brahmins had to wear that certain dress code. And then Vedadhyayanam. Now there are many shloka, but we have to do a little research. I don't have them in one file, but I will be putting them. Prabhupada said in many places, again, Yagnopavit and then Vedas. It's meant for Upanayanam, Upaniti. Prabhupada commented like that. You go to the Guru and you learn. We have Vaishnav Guru, you get the mantra and that's it. But originally Sandipani, Dronacharya, etc., etc. And in Ramanuja Sampradaya and Madhva Sampradaya, they study Vedas. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. And Smarta Brahmins, they have to study Vedas. And there's no difference. You'll see pictures, particularly in South India, where there's a Ramanuja Tilak and a Smarta, and they're together, because Vedas are the same. There's no difference. Vedanta is where there's a difference. Upanishads, there's no difference. There's no difference in Upanishads. Same Upanishads are there for us and for Advaita Vadins. Vedas, same. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. There's no difference in Vedas between Advaita Vadin. Advaita is a commentary on Vedanta Sutras. And Ramanujacharya wrote the first Vaishnav commentary, Sri Bhashya. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada has written that Gaudiya Vaishnavas should study Vedanta philosophy. Who's studying? Somebody maybe. We have Govinda Bhasha, right? Baladev Vidyabhushan. I'm the only one that says Baladev Vidyabhushan ki jai. Doesn't mean I'm great, but Prabhupada dedicated his Gita to Baladev Vidyabhushan. So, Baladev wrote many books, not only the Govinda Bhasha. He wrote many other. He was a great scholar. Therefore, Vidya Bhushana. Abhushana is a ornament. Vidya, he is ornamented with knowledge, Vedic knowledge. What is this knowledge? So the Vedic standard was to be a Jnani. You know, our pictures in our books, Jnani is an old man with long white hair and a white beard. That's not a Jnani. Your Jnani qualification is not to be old with a long beard and a long hair. But somehow they portrayed that like that. Jnani means you had studied Vedas. So whether you're a follower of Ramanuja, Madhva, Shankara, Nimbarka, Vallabha, any of these acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you had to study Vedas first, then Vedangas. Then Dharma Shastras, Darshan Shastra. So Darshan Shastra, there's a difference of opinion. Now Darshan Shastra, difference of opinion is one difference. And then Upasana Paddhati, the system of worship is different. Because Advaitins, they worship Devi Devatas. And Vaishnavas, we bow down to the Devi Devatas, but we don't worship them. We bow down. And Gita says, Ye api anya devata bhaktaha yajante yaji. So yaji means worship as well as yagna, both. Yajante anya devataha. Ye api anya devataha yajante shraddhayanvitaha. With faith, they worship Devi Devatas. In Vrindavan in 1975, I happened to go on a morning walk with Prabhupada. It's a true story. There are these conversations books, they're out of print. Prabhupada's conversations were printed. You can still obtain them on the internet. So in September 1975, I was in Vrindavan for a day. Went on the morning walk with Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was discussing so many things. So I asked Prabhupada, what is better, to worship the one God of the Western religions or to worship the Devatas? You know, the Abrahamic religions, they're very proud. We are monotheistic and Hindus are polytheistic. They worship so many gods. That's British propaganda, the British Raj, they made this propaganda. So Prabhupada said it's better to worship the Devatas. Because by following the Vedic system, you get gradual elevation. And then he said these religions, Western religions, are the religions of the meat eaters. He said like that. But in India, a lot of people are meat eaters, isn't it? But not cow eaters. Whatever they eat, they won't kill the cow and eat the cow. So there's a difference. We are a Bengali Sampradaya. Prabhupada was Bengali. Where's the... behind here? There. In Bengal, who's vegetarian? 1%, 2%, right? When I'm in Mayapur, well, not recently, but not so long ago, I used to take a 7-kilometer walk. Used to walk to the Yoga Peeth and the Srivas Angan, and then I would go in the back through this Muslim village, Murari Gupta's Ram Mandir. You know that? How many people went to Mayapur? Mostly everybody. So I used to walk around that, and there's a village called Balal Digi. And from Balal Digi, again, there's open area. And then you come to the Gurukul, if you turn it. But if you don't go to the Gurukul and you keep going straight, and then turn, you come by houses of local villagers. And in the morning, men come on bicycles with these aluminum cylinders. They're like long, round cylinder, and they take the fish out of that and give it to the ladies of the house, selling the fish. Mayapur. Hare Krishna. Those are Hindus, by the way, not the Muslims. Utkala Vanga. Same. Utkala is Jagannath. In the Jagannath temple, they won't use cauliflower, potato, tomato, red chilies, green chilies, coconut, black pepper, traditional vegetables, dal, rice, chappan bhog every day. And those pujaris go home and then what do they eat at home? I don't want to say. Right? It's unfortunate but true. Unfortunate but true. So, it is tamasic ahar, fish. Prabhupada never ate fish. They forced him to eat something, chicken soup. He vomited. So there are some Vaishnavas very strict, and some Brahmins also. We give some, but many are not, unfortunately. Maybe it's Kali Yuga. So, anyway, Ramanuja's life was like that. He studied Vedas. He was, what happened that significant, it's there somewhere. He became a grihastha. But he was studying Vedanta philosophy with Yadava Prakash. Yadava Prakash was a renunciate. He was a sannyasi. And Yadava Prakash gave one example from Upanishad. It must be there, but I don't know where it is. You can. Go back. That son of the king of the region Kanchi. So, Ramanujacharya was from northern Tamil Nadu. Kanchipuram, you know, right? Kanchipuram is northern Tamil Nadu, and Sri Rangam is southern Tamil Nadu. Yadava Prakash became famous because the king of Kanchi's son, he freed him by uttering some mantra. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, right? You remember this. 21? Okay. So, kapyasaha is a word which Yadava Prakash said he used it to describe the rear end of a monkey. Now you might see some monkeys, Vrindavan, you see those monkeys. They're not here, right? They come here? No. Only in Vrindavan there's so many. So their rear end has this red color. Kapyasa shabdasya vadantya partha tasminsta bhyanga krita kadachit Ramanujasya shru tadurudahi drishtvashu so pyan mukasam brahmo bhut. So, Ramanuja was massaging Yadava Prakash, and when he heard him describing this Kapyasa, I mean, he was talking about Parabrahma, right? That it's shining red. So he said it's like the rear end of a monkey. So hearing this, Ramanuja became very sad, and his tear fell on the body of Yadava Prakash, and that burned him. The tear was so powerful. Next. Oh, next is here too. Idam kim uktavateta tasmai kapyasa vakyasya yathartha muktva jaimin yupakyam mukapyanam api vyurantam ramanujam natra patetya vochat. Then why Yadava Prakash asked Ramanuja, what is the correct meaning if it's not the rear end of a monkey? And he described Jaimini. Jaimini is the author of the Mimamsa Sutras, which Prabhupada called Karma Mimamsa. But Mimamsa Sutra is one of the Shaddarshanas, like Vedanta. And so he might have quoted from the... Ramanuja must have quoted Jaimini at that point. And hearing this, Yadava Prakash became angry and told Ramanuja, go to some other guru. Then actually he became so angry that he wanted to kill Ramanuja. And so he made this Kashi Yatra. Now, I don't know North India, but in South India, those Smarta Brahmins, mostly Smartas, they revere Kashi. Now, Kashi is, there's in Matsya Puranam. How many of you have read Matsya Purana? 0. So I read the English translation, must be 45. You read Matsya Purana? Oh, I read in English translation as I recall the whole thing. This is 45 years, a long time back. There's an English translation. All the Puranas, Hindi, Angrezi, there you can get all the Puranas translated. It's not like, because we don't have it, they don't exist. So in the Matsya Purana, there is Avimukta Kshetra Mahatmyam. So that's why in Gujarati there's a saying, Surat no Jaman, Kashi no Maran. Eat in Surat and die in Banaras. So many people go to Banaras to leave their body because they're supposed to get moksha. But that moksha, we believe, we feel as Vaishnavas that it is Sayuja Mukti. And Salokya, Sarshti, Samipya, Sarupya Mukti, by dying in Banaras you may not get. But by dying in Vrindavan you may get. And by dying in Vrindavan you may get. Maybe. Prabhupada said if you live in Vrindavan like an animal, then in your next life you will be born as a monkey in Vrindavan. And then after, I don't know, 1 or 2 janmas, then you get moksha. Prabhupada's example was he left his body in Vrindavan. But not Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. He didn't... Anyway. So Ramanuja This is a very long story. Even here, it's worth reading this, which we can't read in a short period of time, but ultimately Yadava Prakash becomes a disciple of Ramanujacharya. This is later on. After the Kashi Yatra, Ramanuja started teaching himself, became a teacher, and then he went to Sri Rangam and became the head of the Vaishnavas. At the time, before Ramanuja, there were the Alwars. You've heard of the Alwars, right? How many people went to Puri? Mostly everybody. And in Puri, there's a place called Alarnath. Alarnath or Alalnath. Bengalis say Alalnath, and Uriyas say Alarnath. And there's a Chaturbhuj Vishnu deity. It's Alwarnath, Lord of the Alwars. But Apabhransh, mispronunciation, Alalnath. Alwarnath. So the Alwars were before Ramanujacharya, and they wrote in Tamil, in Old Tamil. Ramanujacharya wrote mostly in Sanskrit, and Yamunacharya, he also wrote a book called Agama Pramanyam, which he explains that the Agamas, the Narada Pancharatra, we call it Narada Pancharatra. There are 140 books, or 145, I don't know the exact number, Pancharatra Shastras. And Gaudiya Vaishnavas have that in Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is Sankshipt, right? Condensed. And Madhvas, they also don't study Pancharatras. Only Ramanuja Brahmins study Pancharatra. But the Madhvas have, like Hari Bhakti Vilas, Tantra Sar. Tantra Sar. So Agama Shastras are also called Tantras. Now there are different Agamas. There's Vaishnava Agamas, Shaiva Agamas, and Shaktas Agamas. We don't accept the Shaiva Agamas and the Shakta Agamas. We only accept the Pancharatra, and the Vaikhanasa Agamas is another group of Agamas that in Tirupati they follow Vaikhanasa Padati. And Sri Rangam is Pancharatra, Pancharatrika Vidhanam. And Vallabh Sampradaya, they don't follow Pancharatra. Otherwise everyone, mostly all the main temples in India, big old temples, they worship according to Pancharatra. But Vallabh Sampradaya, they have Seva. And that's why they don't have temples, right? They have Haveli, Nanda Bhavan. They have a different, little different ideology, but Krishna Bhakti. But that the Guru, only the son of the Guru becomes the Guru, we don't accept. Bhakti Siddhanta and Prabhupada, they didn't accept that. Time is up. What's the time? You have any, from what time to what time? Really? You don't end at 9? Generally? 9:15. Then Ramanujacharya, this is his Grihastha ashram. Then what happened? Yamunacharya came to Kanchi from Sri Rangam, and he saw Ramanuja, but he didn't talk to him. And Ramanuja also may have seen him, but didn't talk to Yamunacharya. Yamunacharya went back to Sri Rangam, and then he was impressed by seeing Ramanuja. So he sent Mahapurna to bring Ramanuja to Sri Rangam. So I think it's like 300 kilometers. And in those days, they would walk. There was no train and no flight. I have to catch the flight? No, tomorrow morning. Not today. So Mahapurna walked after Yamunacharya was just there, and he called Ramanuja, come with me. Yamunacharya is calling you. So Ramanuja went there. And when he arrived, Yamunacharya had already left his body, and his last rites were being performed. And seeing this, Ramanuja said that he had 3 desires that I will fulfill, Yamunacharya. One is to write the commentary on Vedanta Sutras, Sri Bhashya. The other 2 I'm forgetting right now. Can we get that up? 3 desires of Yamunacharya. Huh? Right, he should name somebody after Parashara. That's the second one. And the third one? Acha, teach that prapatti. Prapatti, that might be it. They call it prapatti. We say Sharanagati. Atmanivedanam. Maharaj just left to London. Atmanivedana Swami. He was in east of Kailas, Sant Nagar temple. He said, Maharaj, where you're going? I'm going back to London. He got in the car and went to the airport. Atmanivedana. Atmanivedana, Sharanagati, prapatti, paryayavachi. They're synonyms. So then what happened? Ramanujacharya said, I will fulfill these 3 desires of Yamunacharya, and he went back to Kanchi. He was a Grihastha. So then he thought, I didn't get initiation. And so he started for Sri Rangam, even though Yamunacharya was gone. And Mahapurna, he wanted to give initiation to Ramanujacharya. And in the middle of the 2 places, there's a temple of Rama. Sri Ram Navami is coming. So the place is called Madhurantakam. And they met there. And Mahapurna said, come to Sri Rangam and I'll initiate you. And Ramanujacharya said, no, I can't wait. Do here, now. So that Vaishnava Diksha, Yagnopavit was already given, but Vaishnava Diksha, Panchanga Diksha he gave. So then what happened that Ramanujacharya called, Mahapurna was also a Grihastha, he wasn't a sannyasi. So he called him to stay in his house, and he was studying with him Vedas, Vedanta, probably Vedanta philosophy by that time. And one day, the 2 women, the wife of Ramanuja and the wife of Mahapurna, they were washing their clothes. And Mahapurna's wife, some of the water from the clothes touched the clothes of Ramanujacharya. And then Ramanujacharya's wife, she considered that those clothes had become apavitra, contaminated. Why? Now, you may know there are different castes of Brahmins, right? Who knows this? Who doesn't know? So there are different castes of Brahmins. You know, the late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee was a Kanya Kubj Brahmin. How many of you know this Kanya Kubj Brahmin? Only 1, 2, 3. Many years ago, I was enrolling life members. 1978, that's what, 48 years ago. Guru Purnima, I was in Raipur, which is now Chhattisgarh. It was Madhya Pradesh. And I came from Hyderabad in an old ambassador car. And the ex-chief minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shyamacharan Shukla, whose father started Madhya Pradesh, Ravi Shankar Shukla, and whose brother was Union Minister, what was his name? Starts with a V. He was killed by the Naxalites when he was 80 years old in Chhattisgarh. Boy, I'm forgetting. Anyway, Shamacharan Shukla, I sat with him for 5 hours and he became a life member of ISKCON. So he told me, Kanyakub Sarvashresht. They were Kanyakub Brahmins and we are the best, right? So there are many Brahmins that feel they're better than other Brahmins. I tell you a story. So, someone, Brahmin, told me he was studying Rig Veda in Chennai and all the Brahmins were sitting in a row for bhojan. Prabhupada taught that we shouldn't sit on the floor and take prasad. But now we don't care about that anymore. Oops. Now we should sit on tables. Okay, Govinda's is a business. I also eat in Govinda's Hare Krishna. But actually Vedic system, Pankti Bhojan, you sit and you take meals. So one Brahmin came to that place, but he was from another Veda Shakha. Most of these Brahmins are Yajurvedis, Krishna Yajurvedis in South India. And there's a Shukla Yajurvedi. In North India, everyone's a Shukla Yajurvedi, right? There are 2 Shakas now, Mandhyandina Shaka and Kanva Shaka. So this Kanva Shaka is mostly in south and Madhyandina Shaka is mostly in north. Shukla Yajurvedis. And this Krishna Yajurvedi Brahmin saw him and they said, you cannot sit in the line with us, you have to sit separately. So this type of discrimination, in English we say discrimination, prejudice was there. So when the drop of water from the cloth of Mahapurna's wife went on Ramanuja's clothing, and his wife had to wash it again. In her mind, she considered they're lower Brahmins than we are. Mahapurna's wife told this to Mahapurna. And without telling Ramanuja, in the night, he left with his wife back to Srirangam. In the morning, Ramanuja saw that Mahapurna and his wife were gone, and they didn't say anything. And then he asked his wife what happened, and she told the story. So he packed up her bags and he took her to her father's house and left her there. This is the story. This is the story. I didn't make it up. It's part of the life of Raman. And then he went like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, or Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati like Ramanuja. He took sannyas in front of Varadaraja. Varadaraja is Vishnu Kanchi. And he became a sannyasi. Yati Raja means the king of sannyasis. Any questions? It's getting late. Of course, whose phone is it? Thank you. Dhanyavad. I'm also getting some phone calls, but I'm looking for one. No, not come yet. Oh, no, okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for Nectarian class. Prabhuji, as you said that you translated this Matsya Puran, so once I
No, I read a translation. I didn't translate.
Oh.
I read a translation of Matsya Purana that was done a long time ago.
Okay.
I read it a long time ago.
Actually, I read one verse in Matsya Puran that when who reads Tamsic Puran, he will go to hell. So I don't understand what is this quotation is telling.
First, let me say that Prabhupada has written. You're not supposed to sit like that, by the way. Kshama kare. That the Matsya Purana is the first Purana. Prabhupada has written this in one of his purports. So, tamasic ahar, hell means not for eternity. The Christian idea, Christian, Jewish, and Muslims, Abrahamic religions, they believe you can never return from hell. We don't believe that. The punishment in hell, because the material world is also temporary. Hell will be destroyed, heaven will be destroyed, and this middle planetary system, Bhur Bhuvaswa, all of it gets destroyed. But for some time, just like all of these vanaspatis, trees, they have a long life and they're naked. They can't move. So it's hellish. And there are hellish planets where there are punishments that we are mentioned in Bhagavad, Panchamaskanda. King Nriga in Dashamaskanda was born as a lizard, but he had done so much punya. Why should he be born as a lizard? But he explained that. He explained it to Krishna. He explained it to Lord Krishna. And for no fault of his own, he had to take birth as a lizard because Brahmanas were angry with him. So, I mentioned these castes of Brahmanas, and Brahmanas are considered, Vedas, right? Purusha Sukta, we recite Abhishek, and what is it? Brahmano osya mukamasit. Brahmanas came from the mouth, the head of the Virat. Bahu rajanya kritaha, from the arms, the Kshatriyas were created. Uru tadasya yad vaishyaha, the stomach, the Vaishyas. Padbhyam, the two legs. Shudro ajayata, the Shudras were born from the legs. So not that our legs are below our head, so we should cut off our legs. Doesn't make sense. So this distinction, Chaturvarnam maya shrishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. But in our movement, not in India so much, but also in India, because there are some rogues, renegades, revisionists. One of them, he lives in Mayapur, he's a foreigner. I won't mention his name because it's not nice in public. But he wrote a book, What is Wrong with Manu Samhita? Prabhupada wrote in his purport in Gita 16:7. Manu Samhita is the law book for humanity. So they don't want to accept it. So they say, this is wrong, that is wrong. We do this 10 nam aparad. And one of them is Shruti Shastra Nindanam. And who performs Shruti Shastra Nindanam? Buddhists, Jainas, and Charvakas, right? They condemn the Vedas. So just like Ramanuja heard this interpretation that the supreme truth is red, shining, and this Yadava Prakash is said like the rear end of a monkey, and he became angry. Yesterday in the class, Rohini, I told the story of Kumari Labhat, who was a Mimamsaka. And Adi Shankaracharya came to him to convince him that Advaitavad was, more absolute truth as compared to Mimamsa philosophy, Purva So this Kumari Labat took a Buddhist guru to learn the Purva Paksh. You understand Purva Paksh? That means the opposing theory, which was Buddhism. And whole India had become Buddhist, but not whole India. Still some Vedic Brahmins were there who didn't accept Buddhism. But in order to defeat Buddhism, he became the disciple of a Buddhist guru. And when that Buddhist guru was condemning Vedas, Shruti Shastra Nindanam, tears came in his eyes. And the guru saw that and he said, this rascal, he is not a follower of Buddha. Throw him off the top of the vihara or the stupa, whatever. So when he was thrown, he said, if the Vedas are true, no harm will come to me. And when he landed on the ground, he lost an eye. His eye went out, but he was unharmed. So then at the end, he felt that because he became the disciple of that Buddhist to learn Buddhism, to defeat it, he had also committed an aparad. And in order to be free from that aparad, he should perform prayaschittam. And in order to perform prayaschittam, he sat in the busa. You know busa? Yeah, it's the seed husk of a grain, the husk of the grain. And it was set on fire. So he was to give up his body in this fire. Slowly it burns. So Adi Shankaracharya, this is in Shankara Digvijaya, this story. So he was performing this prayaschittam when Shankaracharya came there. So he told Shankaracharya that I said if the Vedas are true, but I should have said the Vedas are true, nothing will happen to me. Not if. Because there's no doubt Vedas are, Parama Satyam. Shruti Pramanam means it's the breath of the Vishnu. Shwasa Vishnu. So, what was the point originally? Brahmanas were scholars of Shastras, and they were so staunch, so dedicated that they would give up their life for having committed some aparad like that. But the tears was what I remembered. So these different castes of Brahmanas, that's a contamination. That's a contamination. In Vedas, it never says that there are antyajas also. Shudras, but not antyajas. But people who had this, actually Shudras were allowed to eat meat, Prabhupada said. But the meat of lower animals and not from the slaughterhouse. There shouldn't be a katalkhana, a slaughterhouse. But Shudras were allowed to kill the animals, but they had to suffer the karma phal, the result of that action. But Brahmanas were not allowed to kill animals. But in sacrifices, then they killed animals with mantra shakti. That's a different, that Chand Kazi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussion is there. By mantra, an animal would get a human body. And so, yeah, if it says that tamasic people have to suffer, like Nriga, he had to suffer for apparently no fault of his own. But Kshatriyas could also eat meat. That is also tamasic. Then they had to perform prayaschittam like Kumari Labat performed prayaschittam. Not exactly that, burning themselves in bhusa. but they would go in the forest and eat fruits and roots. Dhritarashtra, Kunti, Gandhari, they went and lived the Vanaprastha ashram in the forest. And Prabhupada said, sannyas is for brahmanas, not for kshatriyas. And Vanaprastha ashram is only for kshatriyas. And Vaishyas and Shudras, there's no sannyas or Vanaprastha, only Grihastha. Only Grihastha ashram. I'm in Grihastha ashram. I should have been in Vanaprastha ashram or sannyas ashram, but who can give up? It's not so easy. Ramanujacharya gave it up, so he's great. Any other question? There was an important phone call, so maybe I should end it here. It's 9:30. Shri Ramanujacharya ki jai. Sanskrit mein jayo jayo jayaha. Jayo jayo jaya. Sanskritena maya kimapi na uktam. Gata dine pravachanam dattam. Padaya.
His Grace Basu Prabhu Ji ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.